Okay, I was able to take that piece of fabric that let me get the camera right. I was able to take that piece of fabric and re-hoop it in another location to be able to use this so I can get 2 hearts on one piece of this denim. Anyway, here's my pockets. Here is my pocket pattern. So what I want to do is I want to be able to put my hearts exactly in the same spot on both of my pockets. So what I did is I took a piece of protector and I put my pattern underneath it. And then I was able to take a red marker and then just trace my pattern. Because I'm going to put a design on top of the pattern also, I added a little extra space on the top. So just take your pattern, mark it with a marker, and then just cut it out. Try and get it straight. And then I'm going to go a little bit higher on this one. Let me see what you see. Okay. So then go ahead and cut it out. I have a double sheet here. Okay, so go ahead and cut your pattern out. But leave the top because we're gonna add something to the top so that we can have a bigger turn under. Because I want to put a little bit of a decorative top. So I'm going to take this pattern and I'm going to line that red marker up to that line underneath, and I'm going to add that little bit of extra space. So now I'll have that extra to turn under. So there is my pocket. So how am I going to get the pockets exactly the same on each sheet? What I'm going to do is I'm going to put that clear sheet protector over my heart, and I'm going to line this pocket on top of this heart, and I'm going to think about where I'm going to put that decorative stitch across the top. So excuse me, so there you go on the heart. So put it on top of your fabric, line your heart up so it's exactly even, and then go ahead and mark your heart out. So then now when you cut your next heart out, you'll have that heart exactly in the same spot, and your pockets will be even on both sides of your pants. Okay, so just like that. Excuse me. So what I did is I went around and let me see which one I'm going to use. I'm going to use a little bit bigger one. I went around the edge of the fabric and I tried out some of my designer stitches on here to see which one I like the best. And I think I'm going to go with this starburst pattern, which is 40 right here. Okay, so I went out of the embroidery mode. I went back to my sewing machine. I removed my embroidery, went back to my regular thread. I'm still using that designer metallic thread, and I'm just using regular fabric, regular cotton thread, polyester thread in the bottom. Okay, so let's go ahead and cut this one pocket out. So line your heart up and get it right where you want it, and then pin it down and cut it out. So now I don't have to worry about lining up the other one because I have it exactly in the right location. I've got that protector sheet covering right where that heart is. So now we're just going to take this off and cut the other one out by putting it in the same location. So now when I finish my pockets, those hearts should be exactly, unless I mess up on the turn under or the sewing. Otherwise those hearts will be right on both sides of the pants, exactly in the same place. Okay, so now we've got our 2 pockets cut out, and I'm going to put a decorative stitch across the top. So what I'm going to decide is how much I want to get that turned down. So I'm just going to, I'm not going to turn this down, it would be too bulky on the pocket. So I'm just going to overlock the top of this with regular stitching. But right now I'm just going to do the designer stitch because I'm going to turn this under and then go this way. So I don't have that. You can, if you go this way, then this way, you know, it's a matter of preference, I guess, whichever way you want to put the pockets in on there. I kind of like to do it this way. That's why I want to do the, I don't want to turn down and then do the overlock and then turn in. Because I prefer having it the opposite way, where it goes like that, because then I can tuck this in a little bit like this and you'll never even see any of that fabric showing. Okay, so let's go ahead and decide. I've already decided I'm going to use the decorative stitch number 40. So I'm going to scroll over to that decorative stitch, pick that, and I'm going to go with the factory setting on the machine. I'm using my denim needle, denim needle still, and I'm using that metallic embroidery thread from Walmart. I put my, I reconnected my pressure foot and, not my pressure foot, my pedal, my foot pedal, and I raised up my feed dogs, so I'm back in business again as a regular sewing machine. So now the only thing I have to decide now is how high above that heart pattern do I want those, do I want that design of stitching to go. So you're going to turn that under at least that much so you can use that same line that you did on there and figure out exactly where you want to put that stitching. So I want my stitching to be that far away from my heart. So what I can do is I can lay this down and measure it up against my foot. So I want to use my number 3 line here on my 2.5 inch line from my, just pick a line. So I'm taking 2.5. Okay, so just go down. And I'm going to go from edge to edge, and that way I'm going to be sure I have enough design to go across. So let's go ahead and just make sure you keep it even. So go ahead and hit your machine. This is your, this right here gives you speed. It slows you down and it makes you go fast, however you want to do it. So all I'm doing is keeping that straight on that line so I don't go out of whack, which I just did a little bit. Darn it. I hope it's not too noticeable. Okay, good enough. Let's see how bad it was. Okay, not too bad. Okay, so here is my decorative stitching. I'm going to get my G-foot out and I'm going to overlock that with regular thread. And then I'm going to get my heat and bond. This is heat and bond regular. I'm going to take my heat and bond and I'm going to iron my pocket into shape so that when I go and put it on my pair of pants, which I haven't got cut out yet, it'll all be ready to go. Okay, so let me show you what I mean. I'll do that when I come back. So I'll finish this one. I'll get my ironing out, and then we'll turn this under and get ready to top stitch it on the back of our jeans of our pants.